Welcome to our Level 2 Scripting in Roblox Studio. This is a Level 2 course, which means you are expected to have some knowledge of Roblox Studio and some knowledge of scripting inside Roblox Studio. If you are new to Roblox or new to scripting, we recommend that you start with our basic courses. Just go to our channel, PriceCP Roblox, click on the playlist, go to the Comprehensive Roblox Studio Beginner's Guides. Click on View Full Playlist. Here you have two basic tutorials. The first one is about Roblox Studio, and the second one is about scripting inside Roblox. We recommend that you go through those two courses first to get the basic knowledge of Roblox Studio and of scripting inside Roblox Studio, and come back over here to learn more about scripting inside Roblox Studio. And now, without further ado, let's go to our Level 2 Roblox scripting lesson. Let's now learn about touch events in Roblox. You see, in Roblox, every part inside Roblox has a touch event. And the touch event is fired whenever something is touching the part. Let's take, for example, my red ball right here. Just make sure your ball is anchored. And now let's go to the ball and we're going to add a script. Let's first declare our red ball, the part. So we're going to say local part equal to script.parent. Basically, the red ball is the parent of our script. Now, there is a touch event attached to every part in Roblox. To catch that event when it's being fired, what we're going to do is we're going to say part, which is our red ball, dot touch, connect to a function. Let's call our function onTouch. Whenever something touches our red ball, it's going to fire this touch event, and it's going to connect to this function onTouch. Now we're going to go and create that function. To create the function, we're going to say local function onTouch, and the part that is touching our red ball is being passed in automatically as a parameter. So other part is the part that is touching our red ball. Basically, this is how you catch an event when something is touching your part, and once you find out that something is touching this part, you can do whatever you want. For example, here we're just going to print out the name of the part that is touching our red ball. So we're going to print other part dot name. And now we're going to go to View and open up the output window, and let's play test and take a look. I'm going to run to the red ball, and you can see nothing is printing yet, means nothing has touched the red ball yet. And look what happened when I touched the red ball. I'm going to run through the red ball, and all these parts touch the red ball. So the handle touched it many times, my head touched the red ball, and my upper torso touched the red ball 2 times. Let me try that again, but this time I'm going to try and jump on the red ball. So I'm going to go here and jump. And you can see my right foot, my left foot, my left lower leg, right lower leg, and my humanoid root part has touched the red ball when I hop on the ball. And that's how the touch event works in Roblox. Here again, we have a red ball with a touch event inside, and look what happened when I hop on it. So I only touched it one time, but you can see it recorded multiple touches to the ball. This is not ideal because you don't want to record multiple touches for a single touch. So to record only one single touch for each time a player touches a part, what we're going to do is we're going to add some scripting for debouncing. Debouncing is a process that is only going to record one single touch each time the player touches a part. So again, here is our touch event. Each time the ball is touched, it's printing the name of the part that is touching the ball. To add a debouncing to this touch event, I'm going to go here. As soon as the part is touched, it calls this function. And as soon as I go inside the function, I'm going to turn off the can't touch property of my red ball. My red ball is the part. So I'm going to say part.can't touch equal to false. And then I'm going to print out the name of the part that is touching my red ball. And I'm going to give it maybe 3 seconds. So I'm going to do a test wait of 3 seconds. And then I'm going to turn back on the can touch property of my red ball. So I'm going to say part dot can touch equal to true. Let's play test again, take a look. This time, it should only record the first touch to the ball, and that's all. I'm gonna go and hop on the ball. You can see it only recorded one single touch. We just have to wait for 3 seconds and then touch it again. It recorded another touch to the ball. And that is how debouncing works in Roblox. Inside our workspace, you can see we have a ball hanging in mid-air and it is anchored. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna remove the anchor. So it's no longer anchored. So what's gonna happen is when we play test, it's gonna drop to the base plate. And the ball has a touch event inside the ball. So it's gonna record the touches of the base plate. Let's take a look. You can see I have not touched the ball yet, but it recorded touches from the base plate. So what we want to do is we want to make a change so that the ball only record touches from the player and not from anything else. To check to see if the part that is touching our red ball is a part of the player, what we're going to do is we're going to insert an if statement here. So we're going to say if other part dot parent. Say if my hand is touching the red ball, we're going to go to the parent of my hand, which means other part dot parent is going to give you the character inside the game that is touching that part. And we want to check to see if this character has a child named humanoid. So we're going to do colon, find first child, humanoid. So if the parent of the part that is touching the ball has a child named humanoid, then it is a player that is touching this part. Let me add an N over here. And we're just going to go up here and reformat our document. So basically, now we're only going to record the touches from the players. So if the base plate is touching our ball, we don't care about it. We're just going to skip this whole thing. Only when the player is touching the part, we're going to record that touch. Let's play test now and take a look. You can see before it recorded a bunch of touches from the base plate. It shouldn't do that anymore. Let's take a look. You see, no touches from the base plate until I go and touch the ball. And that's when it recorded the touch of my right hand to the ball. That is how you check to see when a player is touching a part. And once you find out it's a player that is touching a part, you can do whatever you want in your game, such as giving the player points or taking away the player's health or anything you like your game to do when a player touches a part. Now, in case you're wondering why we're looking for a child named humanoid when we want to determine if it is a player that touches the part, let me play test now and I'm going to show you why. So now I'm inside the game. Let's now go to the workspace, expand the workspace. You should see your character inside the workspace. Now expand your character. You're gonna see that there is an object named humanoid inside your character. And that is the reason why we're looking for an object named humanoid inside the character. So this is the character. We're looking for a humanoid object inside the character. We're looking for this humanoid object to determine if it is a player that is touching the part. If you look in the properties window, you can see that this object named humanoid is also of humanoid type. So we could have done it this way as well. Back to the script. So instead of looking for an object named humanoid, we could have looked for an object type. An object of type humanoid. So we could have done find first child, which is a, and the type of object we're looking for is a humanoid object. Then, doing it this way should work as well. So you have two different ways to determine when a player touches a part. You can find an object inside the character which is of type humanoid, or you can find an object named humanoid inside the character to determine if it is a player that touches a part. Let's now learn how to make a kill pill in Roblox. Here I have a red pill. I name it pill. Let's now go to the pill and we're gonna add a script. Inside your script, just enter the following lines. Our pill has a touch event, and you can refer to our prior tutorial for more details about touch events. So whenever this pill is touched, it's gonna call this function. In this function, we're checking for humanoid, which means we're trying to determine if it is a player that touches our pill. If it is a player that is touching our pill, humanoid is not going to be nil, so humanoid is going to be true, and we're going to change the humanoid health to 0. That would kill the character. Let's now play test and take a look. First, I want to show you inside the workspace. Here is my character. If I go inside my character, you're going to see I have a humanoid object. Click on the humanoid object, go to the properties window, and go to the bottom, somewhere near the bottom. You're going to have a property named health. Right now it's 100. Now, as soon as I go and touch that pill, my health is going to change to 0, and I'm going to die. Here we go. You see the health turn 0, and I'm dead. That is how you kill a player in Roblox. Now let's take a look at a few different ways in Roblox that you can kill a player. So here I have a red ball. The name of the ball is pill. Inside the pill I have a script. Here is one way to kill the player when the player touches the ball. It's by changing the player's health to 0. You can refer to our prior tutorial on how a kill pill works. Another way to kill a player is instead of changing the health to 0, you can use the take damage function. So in here, instead of changing the health to 0, I'm going to do : take damage function. And inside the function, I can specify how much health to take away from the player. So if I put in 100 here, it's going to kill the player right away, because the total health of a player is 100, and you take away 100, it's going to become 0. And as we learned in our prior tutorial, if the player's health goes to 0, the player is going to be dead. Now, instead of taking away 100 health, why don't we take away just 10 health each time the player touches this pill? But in reality, it's going to take away much more than 10 health, because you can see we do not have a debouncing process inside this pill. So let's now play test and take a look. Each time I touch the pill, it's going to take away more than 10 health, since I do not have a debouncing process in it. Here we go. You can see it took away a bunch of health. Let me open up my character and go to the humanoid so we can tell how much health it took away. So look at my health right now. It's at 53. And with time, I regain my health back. Now I'm going to go and touch the pill again. And I'm dead. So each time I take the pill, since there's no debouncing process, it's recording multiple touches to the pill, and each touch is going to cost me 10 health. And that's why it killed me so fast, because it recorded multiple touches to the ball. So if in your game, you want to take only 10 health each time the player touches the ball, you must add a debouncing process to this touch event. And you can refer to our prior tutorial on debouncing for more details. Another way to kill the character is, instead of changing the health of the character, what I can do is I can break the joints of the character. So here's my characters. The character is other part.parent. Now if I use the function break joints, whoops, this will break the joints of the character, and that would kill the character immediately. Let's play test and take a look. There's my pill. I'm gonna touch it, and boom, I'm dead immediately. And just for fun, we can kill a character by blowing up the character. So instead of breaking the joints of the character, you can replace that one line with these two lines. On this line here, we're creating an explosion using instance.new to create a new object. The object type is going to be of type explosion, and we're putting it inside the workspace. We're positioning our explosion exactly at the location of the part. So the part is our pill that the player touches. The explosion is going to happen exactly at that same spot where the part is, where the pill is, and the explosion is going to kill the player. Let's play test and take a look. And there is our pill. I'm gonna go and touch it. Boom! I am dead. Basically, the explosion breaks the joints of the character, and that's what kills the character. If you're lucky, the explosion only break away your arm or your leg. You're not gonna die, so you can still play, you can still hop around on one leg inside the game. But if it breaks your neck joint, then you're dead. So those are just some of the ways that you can kill a player inside Roblox. Before we continue, I just want to remind you to take this opportunity to click that subscribe button under the video so you don't lose touch with our channel in the future. And click that bell icon so you can be notified of new tutorials that are posted in the future. And if you like this tutorial, please do share it with your friends. Leave us a comment under the video. We love to see your comments. Let us now learn how to make a speed pill in Roblox. First, I'm gonna go up here and add a part. We added a sphere. We're gonna change the color to yellow, change the material to neon to make it glow. Now, if you want it to glow brighter, you can go to the part. Let me first rename the part to speed pill. And now I'm gonna click on the plus sign next to my speed pill. I'm gonna add a point light. Select the point light, go to the brightness property, and you can adjust that to make it brighter. Next, let's go back to our speed pill. We're gonna add a script. In your script, just enter the following lines. Basically here we have a touch event, and we're checking to make sure that it is a player that is touching the speed pill. For more information on how all these work, you can refer to our prior tutorial on touch event. So basically, whenever a player touches the speed pill, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna destroy the speed pill. And then we're gonna change the speed of the player that touches the speed pill. To change the speed of the player, you're gonna go to the humanoid of the player. So first we're gonna say humanoid dot walk speed. So we're changing the walk speed of the player, and that makes the player walk faster. So we're gonna say walk speed equal to 50. The regular walk speed is 16, so we're making the player walk much faster, more than 3 times faster than the regular walk speed. Let's play test now and take a look. Before I do anything, I'm gonna show you the regular walk speed. So I'm gonna go to my workspace, I'm gonna go to my character, look for the humanoid object, go to the properties window, and we're gonna look for a property called walk speed. And here is my regular walk speed. It is 16. And now I'm gonna go and look for my speed pill. Let me first show you how fast I run right now. So that is the speed that I'm running right now. And now I'm gonna go and grab my speed pill. And you can see how much faster I'm running. Also notice over here my walk speed has changed to 50 from 16. And guys, that is how you make a speed pill in Roblox. Let's now learn how to make a growth and shrinking potion in Roblox. We're gonna go to our workspace, we're gonna click on the plus sign, we're gonna select mesh part. If you don't see mesh part in the drop down, you can select mesh part in the search box over here. Otherwise, just select mesh part. I'm gonna bring my mesh part over here and rename it to potion. With the potion selected, go to the properties window. You're gonna see there are 2 different properties that we want to change. The first one is gonna be the mesh ID, and the second one is gonna be the texture ID. Let's first change the mesh ID. So we're gonna go to our toolbox. We're gonna search for a mesh for our mesh part. In the search box, just enter potion, because that's what we're making, a potion bottle. I'm just gonna select the first one here, so right click and copy mesh ID. Come back over here, click on the mesh ID and Control V to paste it in. Hit enter. You can see now my mesh part has changed. The shape has changed into a potion. Let me move closer so you can see it better. And there it is. Next thing I want to do is I want to check the size of my potion here. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to go to my avatar menu tab and I'm going to click on Rig Builder. I'm going to bring in my own avatar, right? So this is a regular player right here, you can see the potion bottle is very small compared to a regular player. So now we're gonna resize our potion bottle. We're gonna make it a little longer, a little wider. The other thing that we need to do is to give this a texture. So again, we have the texture ID here. We're gonna go back to the toolbox, and now we're gonna search for an image for our texture. So we're looking for any image. You can pick any image you want. How about I'm gonna pick this red potion right here. So I'm gonna right click and copy asset ID. Come back over here to the texture ID property. Click on that, paste it in, hit enter. And now let me put my potion bottle in focus so we can see it. That's how it's gonna look like. I think it looks pretty nice. The next thing we wanna do is we wanna add a touch event to this potion bottle. So go to your potion bottle, click on the plus sign, add a script. Let me close this window over here. And inside your script, just enter the following lines. So basically, again, here we have a touch event, and we're checking for a player that is touching this potion bottle. You can refer to our prior tutorial for more details on how all these work. So as soon as a player touches this potion bottle, we're destroying this potion bottle. We're deleting it, we're removing it. And to make this into a growth potion, we need to increase the size of the character that touches this bottle. To do that, we're going to go to our character. The character is otherPart.parent. So we're going to start with that. We're going to say otherPart.parent. And we're going to use the scale to function to make our character bigger. So here we have colon scale 2. In here, we're gonna specify how big we want to scale this character. So I want it to be twice the current size. We put a 2 in here to make it double the size. Now let's play test and take a look. Let me look for my potion bottle. And there it is, right next to my dummy character. And now if I go and touch it, you can see I'm twice the size that I used to be. Let's go back to the script. In order to make this into a shrinking potion instead of a growth potion, instead of the size we multiply by 2, we're going to multiply by 0.5. 0.5 is going to make your character, the new character, half the size of the original character. Let's play test and take a look. And basically this is going to turn it into a shrinking potion. I'm going to go and grab the potion bottle. And you can see now I'm half the size that I was. Let us now learn how to make a fading platform in Roblox. And a typical place for a fading platform would be inside an obby. So let's start with an obby template. So here is my obby. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select these blocks over here. So I'm just going to select the blocks, press Control, hold down the Control, and select all these blocks. Probably maybe except for the middle one here. So I'm going to select these 4 blocks and press delete. They're gone. I'm going to resize this block in the middle here. Let's give it some color. So not everything is going to be gray. How about blue? Right, so that's going to be our fading platform. So I'm going to go and rename this part now to fading platform. And we're going to click on the plus sign and add a script. Inside your script, just enter the following lines. Here we're declaring the platform, and we added a touch event to that platform. So we're listening for when that platform is being touched. When the platform is being touched, it's going to connect to this function. First thing we're going to do, we're going to turn off the can't touch. This is our debouncing process. And here we're using a for loop to change the transparency of our part. So we're going to make our part fade away slowly. We're going to start with I. So I is 0. But as it goes through the loop, it's going to keep changing the transparency. So the next time it goes through, it's going to add 0.1 to I. So I is going to become 0.1. And then it's going to become 0.2, 0.3. Eventually, I is going to become 1. And that's when it's going to be completely transparent. It's going to disappear. Here we have a task wait to slow down the loop. And once our part has completely disappeared, that's when I is 1. we're gonna turn off the can't collide. So now if the player is still standing on the platform, the player is gonna fall right through because can't collide is off on the part. This here is gonna make the part disappear for 2 seconds, and then it's gonna reappear. We're gonna set everything back to the way it was before. Transparency equals 0. Can't collide is back to true, and can't touch is back to true. So now another player, or the same player, can touch the part again to make it fade away. Let's play test and take a look. Okay, so the blue platform is our fading platform. I'm gonna make my way over there. Hopefully I won't die before I reach there. Alright, I'm at the checkpoint, so that's good. And here we go. I'm gonna hop on it and stand on it. Oh, you see that? It faded away and I fell right through. I'm gonna try again. This time I'm gonna try and get off the platform before it fades away. Ready? Here we go. Let's hope I can make it. I made it! Woohoo! And guys, that's how you make a fading platform inside your Roblox obby or inside any Roblox game. Let's now learn how to make a falling platform. So I'm gonna use the same obby from our last lesson, and we're gonna change these blocks here into falling platforms. So let's start with the first block here. I'm gonna go to that block, I'm gonna rename it to falling platform. And we're gonna click on the plus sign and add a script. Inside your script, just enter the following lines. So our falling platform script is much easier than the fading platform script, because all you have to do is listening for the touch event. When somebody touches the part, you just turn off the anchor property of the part, and that will automatically make the part fall down because of gravity. To make things clearer, I'm gonna create another folder. And I'm gonna name that folder falling platform folder. Alright, and I'm gonna put all the falling platform pieces inside that folder. So the first one is this one right here. I'm gonna move that inside that folder. And where's the other ones? I'm gonna move this one, this one, this one, and this one. I'm gonna drag them all, put them inside the folder. You can rename all these parts to falling platform. And another thing we need to do is we need to give them all the falling platform script. So I'm gonna right click and copy the script. And I'm gonna select all these parts, right click and paste into selected. Now all these pieces, they all have the same falling platform script. And also I'm gonna select all these pieces and I want to give them a different color, make it more colorful. Let's now play test and take a look. So here, the yellow are the falling platform. Let's go. I have to hop fast, otherwise you can see they fall down. As soon as I touch them, they fall down. And now here is my fading platform. I got past that. I got past that too. And let's go all the way. Let's see if I can make it. Whoa! Whoa! I almost made it. What should I do there? Let me try this part one more time. Maybe I just walk on it. There we go. I made it. Hooray! I made it to the end of the obby. Now, keep in mind here, like you can see the falling platform. Once they fall down, they're not gonna reappear. So if you want them to reappear, you're gonna need to add some more script to bring them back after they have fallen down. Let's learn how to make a teleporter. Here you can see I have a red pad and a blue pad. If I hop onto the red pad, you can see I get teleported to the blue pad. Now if I hop back on to the blue pad, I get teleported back to the red pad. Let's go to Studio and see how we can do that. In my workspace, you can see I have pad number 1 and pad number 2. They are just two regular parts. Now let's select both pad 1 and pad 2. We're gonna right click and group them as a model. Rename the model to teleporter. Add a script. In your script, just enter the following lines. This is probably the easiest teleporter script that you're gonna find because we only use one function for both paths. At the top here, we're declaring our parts, which is the teleporter, pad 1 and pad 2. at the bottom here, we're adding the touch function, the touch event, to both path 1 and path 2. So when path 1 or path 2 is touched, it's going to connect to this function, onTouch. For this function, we're going to pass in the destination where you want the player to be teleported to, and also we're passing in the part that is touching the pad. From the part that is touching the pad, we can get the character that is touching the pad. We're looking for the humanoid inside the character to make sure that it is a player that is touching the pad. If it is a player, we're going to turn off the can't touch of the to pad, so that when the player is teleported to the to pad, the player wouldn't be teleported back immediately when he or she touches the to pad. We're giving the player 7 seconds to get off the pad, and then we're turning back the can't touch to true, which means if the player now touches the pad, the player is going to be teleported back to the other pad. To teleport the character is very simple. You just got to move the humanoid root part to another location. So here we're moving the humanoid root part of the character to another location, which is the location of the to pad, plus a vector 3. So the player is going to be teleported right above the pad, and he or she is going to be landing on top of the pad. And this, my friends, is probably the easiest teleporting script that you're going to find on the market today. Let's now play test and take a look. I am now going to run to one of the pads. Let's run to the red pad, and we should be teleported to the blue pad. And we have 7 seconds to get off the pad. And now I'm going to hop on to the blue pad to be teleported back to the red pad. And there it is. Now that we have learned how to kill a player in Roblox, we can now build tools and weapons that can kill other players in the game. Something similar to this laser gun right here. If I use this laser gun on one of the dummies over there, it's gonna kill them. Or if I use it on another player, it's gonna kill the other player. Let's take a look. I'm gonna go, and the dummy is dead. So now let's go back to Studio and see how we can make this laser gun that would kill another player inside Roblox. Here we are inside Roblox Studio, and to make a tool, we're gonna go to our workspace. We're gonna add a tool. Let's name our tool Laser Gun. And now go to the toolbox. We're gonna search for meshes, and we're gonna search for a laser gun. Hit enter. I'm gonna select this hand cannon. Click on it, and it goes inside the workspace. I'm gonna take this hand cannon, and I'm gonna put it inside my laser gun tool. Rename this to handle. Let's now close the toolbox, and we're gonna resize this. We're gonna scale it to make it a little bit bigger. I'm now gonna collapse this laser gun, and I'm gonna drag it and put it inside the starter pack. So I want to try it out. Let's play test and take a look. So here is my laser gun. I'm gonna equip it, and let's make a few adjustments so that it looks better. You can see I'm holding the gun like too far at the front, right? So I want to move the gun further to the right. So we're gonna go to our workspace. We're gonna go to the character that is holding the gun. We're gonna look for our laser gun, select it, go to the properties window, the grip position. We're gonna change, instead of 0 for the Z component, we're gonna make it 0.5. And that looks better. Let's take a look at the other side. Okay, it looks pretty good. Now I'm gonna right click on the laser gun, copy, press stop, go back to the starter pack, right click, and paste into. This is my new laser gun that I have adjusted. I'm gonna delete the old laser gun that was inside the starter pack earlier. So I'm gonna select that one, press delete. Now if you wanna make sure, play test again and take a look. And I'm gonna equip the laser gun. And the holding there looks pretty good. Let's now bring the laser gun back into the workspace so we can work on it. I'm going to put it back into the workspace. Here's my laser gun. Add a part. And we're going to resize our part. I'm going to change the color of the part to red so we can see it better, and change the transparency to 0.5 so we can see through it. Now we want to place this part here where the laser beam is going to be. We're going to resize the part, make it thinner, and just move it to where the laser beam is going to be. So here it is. As you can see, I have placed my part at the location where I want the laser beam to be. Let's rename our part to hitbox. So this hitbox is what's going to kill the player. The laser beam is just for visual effects, but when the player touches this hitbox, it's going to kill the player. Let's build our laser beam. So we're going to go to the hitbox. We're going to add 2 attachments to it. So first attachment right here, and I'm going to add one more attachment. Second attachment right here. So my hitbox now has 2 attachments. Now in case you don't see your attachment, you may want to go to your model menu tab, go to the constraints section, and turn on constraints detail. But as you can see, I have constraints detail off, and I can still see my attachment. So I don't need to do anything here. But in case you don't see it, then just come over here, click on constraints detail, and you should be able to see your attachment. The first one, I'm going to rename it to start. And the second one, I'm going to rename it to end. I'm going to go to my start attachment, and I'm going to move it to where the laser is going to start. So it's going to start exactly where at the start of the gun, the end attachment, and I'm going to move it to the end of the block. Go back to the hitbox. We're going to add a beam for the laser beam. So click on the plus sign and select beam. If you don't see beam in the drop down, you can search for it in the search object box here. But my beam is right here, so I'm just going to select it. Select the beam. Go to the properties window, attachment 0. Click on attachment 0 and select start. Click on attachment 1 and select end. Connecting this beam to the 2 attachments. Basically, this laser beam is going to run an image from this point to this point, and that's going to create a visual effect of a laser beam. For example, I'm going to go to one of my images. I'm just going to select this image right here. So copy asset ID. And if I choose the beam, go back to the properties of the beam, look for texture, and right click, paste the copy asset ID into the URL, hit enter. And you can see now I have changed the image of my beam. But the image that we want to use in this case to make a laser beam is the image with this image ID. The asset ID is 60, 60, 54, 20, 21. And there it is. That is the image of the beam that we want to use in this case. I can now select the hitbox and change the transparency of the hitbox to 1 to make it disappear. So now all we have left is the laser beam. You can change how the laser beam look by selecting the laser beam. Go to the properties window. We can change the color of the beam. For example, if you want purple, you can select purple. Click OK. Now the laser beam is purple. Light emission to 1. Texture length to 2. Texture speed to 4. Transparency, I'm going to change it to 0. Let me try it again, 0. We want to enable the face camera. That makes it look nicer in every angle. And I'm going to change the width 0 to 2. Okay, so now I'm going to collapse my hitbox here. And I'm going to move this hitbox inside the laser gun. Next thing we need to do is we need to weld this hitbox to our gun, to our handle. So we're going to select the handle and the hitbox. We're going to go to the Model menu tab, Constraints, click on Create, and Weld. Now we can go back to the handle and the hitbox and double check. Expand the handle, expand the hitbox, and you see a weld constraint there. Select the weld constraint, and part 0 is the hitbox, part 1 is the handle. So the two has been welded together. You can also see the weld constraint here between the handle and the hitbox. Alright, we're all done with the laser gun, so we can now move the laser gun back into the starter pack. And now let's go to the laser gun. We're going to add a script. It's going to be a kill script. I actually want to put my script inside the hitbox, not the laser gun, because it is the hitbox that's going to kill the player. And now inside the script, just enter the following lines. This here is just a basic kill script. And if you want more information on how this works, you can refer to our prior tutorial on how to kill a player. When the player touches a part, touches this part, the hitbox, we're taking away all the health from the player, and that's what's gonna kill the player. Let's now play test and take a look. So here we are. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna equip my laser gun, and you see I haven't reached the player yet, so I didn't kill him. In this case, the player is a dummy, but it's gonna work the same way on players inside the game. And I'm gonna go and hit a player. It killed that person, and I'm gonna go to the next player, and it killed the other player as well. So that is how you make tools and weapons inside Roblox. In this case, we have a laser gun that kills other players. Now in case you don't want to kill the player right away, you want to make it more interesting, like you have to hit the player multiple times to kill the player, you can change this. Instead of changing the health to 0, you can subtract the health, or you can just use the take damage function to take away health from the player. In this case, we're just going to take away 1 health for each hit. But it's going to hit the player multiple times because we don't have a debouncing process in this script here. Let's play test and take a look. I'm going to go and now I'm going to equip my laser gun. And let's see. I'm going to turn around the other way. You can see he jumped because he got hurt, but he didn't die because it's not going to kill him right away unless if I hit him again. He still didn't die. I'm going to hit him again. Oh, he jumped again, but he's still alive. One more time, and he's dead. Back to this one. You see, I hit her, but she didn't die right away unless if I hit her again and again, and she's dead. For more information on how to make Roblox tools and weapons, you can come to our PriceCP YouTube channel to learn everything you need to know about tools and weapons inside Roblox, including how to make an on-off switch on your tool. For example, if you pull out this laser gun, the laser is not going to be on right away, and you would have to turn it on for the laser to come on, and once you're done, you can turn it off, and then you can put away your tool. So you can learn all that by going to our channel, PriceCP Roblox, and scroll down. The first section here is for beginners. Go past that section, you have the how-to series, and here you have the basic tools. So in this playlist, you can learn everything you need to know about tools and weapons inside Roblox. Check out this driving inside the PriceCP Funhouse. And this game is public, so if you like to try, you can come and check it out. Alright, so I'm inside the game. First thing we're gonna do, we're gonna run to our car. And there's the car. Alright, I'm gonna get in. Hopefully I fit. I'm so big compared to the car. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. How do I get in? There we go. And you ready to see the driving? Here we go. Did you like that stop? See it again. Whoa! Let's do it again. I want to try it one more time. Can I make it? Oh, I want to. I wanted to land right onto the car, but I missed it by a little bit. Okay, so here we go. Cool. Not bad. Whoa, I hit the trampoline. But I'm okay, guys. Woohoo! Whoa, oh, oh, oh! Alright guys, hope you like my driving there, and if you like to check it out, come to the Price CP Funhouse and check it out. Here we have a very interesting example. We are declaring 5 different variables and we're printing out those variables. Let's run test and take a look. And there it is, it printed out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which are the values inside those variables. Very interesting. I'm just kidding. Here comes the more interesting part. So instead of doing it this way, we could have achieved the same exact result by doing it this way. Let's take a look. And there it is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exactly the same result. The variable A is an array, and this array has 5 elements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is how you initialize an array, and this is how you print out the individual elements inside the array. So we're printing out element number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To print out an element of the array, you just start with the array name followed by the array index. So each one of these elements have an array index. The first one has index of 1. So if you want to print out the third element, you specify the index of 3. Now to change an array element, you do it this way. For example, if I want to change the third element of this array, I'm going to do A bracket 3 equal to whatever value I want to change it to. For example, the AI has recommended 10, but I want to change it to 100. Let's take a look. And you can see it printed out 1 to 100 because 100 is my third element. It has been changed. The value of the element has been changed to 100. Same as variables in scripting, you can store anything you like inside an array element. For example, in this array, we're storing strings inside this array. So we have apple, banana, and oranges. Let's take a look. And orange, not oranges. The first element of the array is apple, printed apple, and then banana, then orange. The fourth and fifth element of this array is printed nil and nil. Why? Because this array only has 3 elements. So element number 4 and number 5 are not defined or undefined, and that's why the value of those elements are nil. Here's the beauty of using an array. So instead of printing out each individual element of the array like we do here, we could have used a for loop to print out those elements. Take a look at this example. We have the same array here, and instead of printing out individual elements, we're using this for loop here. So we're starting out with I equal to 1, and then we go in here, we print out A of index 1 of the array, so it's going to print out apple, and it's going to keep on going. It's going to keep on looping until it reaches pound A. Pound A is the length of the array, so you just put the pound sign in front of the array name, you get the length of the array. In this case, the length of our array A here is 3 because we have 3 elements. So this for loop is going to go from 1 to 3, and each time it's going to print out the array element associating with the index I. Let's run test and take a look. Here we have it. The first element printed out was apple, then banana, then orange. And it knows to stop at orange because of the length of the array. The length of the array is 3, so it printed the third element, which is orange, then it stopped. Another loop that is commonly used when associating with arrays in scripting is the for in I pairs loop. The way this works is it's gonna iterate through the array. This is our array here, so we have array A. This loop is gonna iterate through this array. Each time it goes through, it's gonna return the index of the array and the value of the element of that array. So here, each time we go through, we're just gonna print out the index of the array and the value of that element in the array. Let's run test and take a look. Alright, so first time it goes through the array, it printed index number 1 is apple, and then goes to index number 2 is banana, index number 3 is orange. Usually you use this kind of loop when you want to specify the ranking of individual elements. For example, apple is first, so it's number 1, banana is second, it's number 2, and orange is 3. But if you don't care about the ranking, or if your array is not sorted, if you're not using the index of the array, you can just replace the index with an underscore. Means you're not using it. And down here, you can just remove the index here. So in this case, we only care about what's inside this array. We're going through the array and we're listing out all the values inside the array, but we don't care about the order in which they come in. Let's take a look. And there it is. We only printed out apple, banana, and orange. And that is how you use an array in scripting. You can do a lot of things with arrays in scripting. For example, in this example here, I'm using the getChildren function to return all the children of the workspace. So let's take a look. My workspace is right here. And these are the children of the workspace. I have the camera, the terrain, base plate, part, and part. Let's take a look. Here it is, the camera, the base plate, the terrain, part, and part. Just notice one thing, the getChildren method is not going to return the children in the order that you see here. So the order of the elements are going to be random. But it does return all the children of an object that you specify. In this case, it is the workspace. Just for fun, we're going to change, instead of the workspace, we're going to return all the children of our game. Let's take a look. So here are the children of our game. From the top, we have the workspace. Oh, there it is. Other than the workspace, let's see what else we have here that we can recognize. For example, you have the chat. Let me see if the chat's still there. There it is. There's the chat. You have the players service. Here it is, the players service. And as you go through this list, you're going to see all these objects here listed in here. Plus other objects that you don't see here that are listed in here because they are hidden. The getChildren function can be very useful in scripting. Let's take a look at this next example here. We have 5 different parts here, very colorful parts. They are all inside this parts folder. Now in this script here, I want to change the color of all those 5 parts. So what I'm going to do is, first, I'm going to declare an array named parts that is going to contain these 5 parts. To do that, I'm going to use the getChildren function to get all the children of parts. So game.workspace.parts here is my folder part here. And this here is going to return all the children of this folder, which is part 1 through 5. They are going to be stored inside this array named parts. And here I'm using the for_in_i_pairs loop to loop through all the children of that folder. And each time we go through, we're going to change the color of each of those parts to yellow. Let's now run tests and take a look. Ready? Here we go. They all turn to yellow. So that is how you use the getChildren function. And the getChildren function can be very useful in scripting in many ways. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and add some more things to these parts. For example, here I'm going to add, let's say if I'm going to add a click detector here. And in here, I'm going to add an attachment. The attachment is the children of part 2, but it is the grandchild of the parts folder. Same with the click detector is the grandchild of the part folder. So now let's go back to the script. We're still getting all the children of parts, which means all these parts in here. And instead of changing the color, we're going to print out the part. Let me open up the output window and we're going to run tests and take a look. The getChildren method only returns the direct children of parts, but it did not return anything that are under the parts. For example, in this case, it did not return the attachment and the click detector. So in order to return everything under parts, including all the children, the grandkids, and the great-great-grandkids of parts, what you need to do is, instead of using the getChildren method, you want to use the get descendants. And this is going to return everything under the folder parts. Let's take a look. And there it is. We have part 1, part 2. And remember here, part 2 has a child named attachment, so it's printed here. And then we have part 3, part 4. And then part 4 has a click detector, it's printed here. And then part 5. So there you have it, guys. Those are two very important methods in scripting, the get children and the get descendants. Here inside my workspace, I have a folder named parts. This is where all these parts are stored. Now let's go to the service script service. Here I have a change color script, which is going to change the color of all those parts. We're using the get children function to return all those parts in the parts folder into this array. And then we're going through the array to change the color, the brick color of each one of those parts. Let's now run tests and take a look. You can see all the parts color has been changed to red. But here is the thing. If you open up the view output window, you're going to see that there is an error message in the output window. It's because my folder parts has other things in it. It's not only the parts that are stored inside the parts folder, but there is also a script in it. And when it tried to change the brick color of the script, that's where we got the error message. To prevent that error, what we're going to do is we're going to use a function called isA function. So we're going to say if part colon isA part. Then, and now I'm gonna move this inside that if statement. Basically what we're doing here is we're checking to see if our part is a part, because again, there is also other objects in it, other object in it. For example, we have a script in it. So we're checking to see if the part that is being returned from this for in I pairs loop is a part. If it is a part, then we're going to change the brick color of a part. But if it returns a script, we're not going to do anything. We're going to skip this part. So we're not going to change its brick color. And then we're not going to get that error message. Let us now run tests and take a look. You can see all the parts color has been changed to red. Same as before, but this time there is no error message in the output window. That is how you use the isA function in Roblox. Previously, we have learned how to make our falling platforms. All these 5 parts here were made into falling platforms. And we did this by inserting a script into one of the parts. And then we copy and paste the script into all the other parts. So now all these 5 parts have the same exact script, and that turned them into falling platforms. In general, when you are duplicating the same exact script all over the place, it is considered bad coding practice. Let's now learn of a way to turn all these platforms into falling platform, but we're going to use only one single script to do that, instead of having duplicate copies of the same script all over the place. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into these parts, the falling platforms, and I'm going to delete all these scripts from those parts. So those parts now, they have no script inside of them. We're now going to go to our service script service, and we're going to insert a script. You can name your script falling platforms and insert the following lines into your script. On the first line here, we're getting all the children of that folder, the falling platform folder, which means we're picking up all the falling platform pieces and we put them into this array. We're using the for in I pairs loop to loop through all the parts in that array. And for each of those parts, we're adding a touch event to the part to listen for when the part is touched, and we're changing the anchor property to false to make it fall down. This is a single script that is going to turn all the parts inside that folder the falling platform folder into falling platform. So any part that you place inside this folder from now on, it's going to turn them into a falling platform when touched. Let's play test now and take a look. And here we go. So all these 5 platforms, they should be falling platforms. Let's take a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They all fell down. And that is how you avoid making duplicate scripts inside your games. Let's now learn how to get all players in a game. To demonstrate this, we're going to go to our service script service. We're going to enter a script. You can name your script, get all players. And in your script, just enter the following lines. And here is another example of using an array inside scripting. As you can see, arrays are very important in scripting. On the first line here, we're just getting the player service. Your player service is this service here. And the reason we're getting that is so that we can use the API from the player service, the get players API. It's going to return all the current players in the game in the form of an array. So it's going to load all the players into this players array. Here we're using the for in I pairs loop to loop through the array to get all the players. For each player in that array, we're going to check to see if the player has a character associating with the player. If the character exists, we're going to change the head of the character, the color of the head, to red. That's going to give the player a red face. We are now going to go to the test menu tab, and we're going to test with 2 players. Here is my player number 1, and here is my player number 2. You can see they have normal faces right now, but give it a few seconds and the faces have turned red. Once you are done with testing 2 players, you can click on Cleanup to close the windows. And that is how you get all players inside your game. Let's now look at how to retain objects inside our games. Let's take, for example, this is the PriceCP Funhouse. And there's a lot of good stuff in here, so in case you haven't been in here, you can come take a look, check it out. Anyway, in this tutorial, we want to learn how to retain objects inside our games. So let's take, for example, I have this buggy here, the speed buggy. And let's say if I'm a bad driver and I drive it off the edge of the platform, the player, myself, my character is going to respawn, but the buggy is gone forever. So now nobody else can enjoy the buggy inside this game anymore because there is no more buggy. So in this tutorial, we're going to learn how to retain the objects inside our games so that other people, including yourself, you can enjoy the buggy again, even if you made a mistake and drove it off the edge of the platform. Now, one way to do it would be to put an invisible wall all around this platform so that you cannot drive off the edge. But that wouldn't be fun. So we want players to be able to drive off the edge and they would die. But the object is not going to be lost from the game forever. So basically, the way to do it would be the same as we're spawning in the balls over here, the bouncy balls. We're going to check to see when the buggy is driven off the edge, then we're going to spawn in a new buggy. But the question is, how can we tell when the buggy is being driven off the edge? Let's now go to Studio. Here we are inside Roblox Studio, and here you can see I have the buggy inside the fun stuff folder. Now, one way that came to mind is for me to keep checking this fun stuff folder for this buggy, and when it disappears, like when the player drives it off the edge of the platform, when it disappears, I'm gonna spawn in a new buggy in at the same exact location as this buggy. Let's now play test and see if that idea is gonna work. So first thing I want to do is, maybe I should have placed the buggy closer to me so I don't have to run that far. But you see, what I want to do is I want to keep an eye on this folder here. There's a buggy inside that folder, right? So when that buggy disappears, I'm going to replace it with a new buggy. The same way we're spawning in the bouncy balls. Let's see if that's gonna work. So here I'm gonna pretend I'm a bad driver. Actually, I am in Roblox. And I drove off the edge of the platform. But you can see I have respawned back into the game, but the buggy is still there at the fun stuff folder, inside the fun stuff folder, even though it is not anywhere on this platform. So that idea to look for the buggy in the fun stuff folder when it disappears, we're gonna replace it. That idea is not gonna work, because in this case it never disappears. Even though we don't see it in this game anymore, it is still there. So after thinking about it for a while, I have come up with a new strategy on how to keep the buggy inside this game. Let's now go to our server script service and let's add a script. You can name your script respawn. And in your script, just enter the following lines. At the top here, we're just declaring all the objects inside our game. For example, this is the fun stuff folder, which is this folder right here. And then part is our buggy. So the buggy is inside the fun stuff folder. The next two lines here, I'm basically making a copy of the buggy and move it into the replicated storage. So basically we're copying this buggy and then we move the copied version into this replicated storage. Down here, we have an infinite loop. So we're gonna keep on checking this. We're gonna look at the primary part of our buggy, our part, right? Our part is the buggy. So our buggy has a primary part. So go to the buggy, click on the buggy, go to the properties window. You're gonna see that the primary part is the chassis of the car. So go back to the buggy, expand it, and here we see that here's the chassis. So the chassis is the primary part of the buggy. The chassis has a position property, and specifically we're going to look at the Y component of this chassis. This Y position should not change. So it started out at 2.1. It should be about the same at about 2.1. But we're going to keep an eye on it. So when it goes to -40, we assume that the car went off the edge of the platform and is falling down. So in that case, first thing we're going to do, we're going to destroy the car. So this car, the buggy, is going to be destroyed. It's going to be gone from this folder. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to make a copy of our copy that we have placed inside the replicated storage. So we're making a copy of that buggy that is inside the replicated storage, and then we're moving it back inside the fun stuff folder. So we're putting a new copy into this folder, back into the folder. And we're doing that each time the buggy goes off the platform. All right, let's now play and take a look. So here I am inside the game, and I'm gonna go to my buggy. And on my way there, I'm gonna play with all these fun stuff, because we are inside the fun house. Whoa, I landed on the car. Check that out. All right, and did I break the car? All right, so here we go. I drove off the platform, and let's see. I respawned it, and I can see the car is there. The buggy is there. So if you look inside the replicated storage folder here, you see there is a copy of the buggy because we copied it in. This is where we copied it in. So this copy here, that's where it's coming from. And every time I drive the new buggy off the platform, we're gonna make a copy of this buggy and we're gonna put it inside the fun stuff folder. Okay, let's try one more time, see if the car's still there. I just kicked the ball all the way over there. All right, I'm gonna jump in. And here we go. Which one is the handbrake? Spacebar, okay? Let me try to see if I can do... Wow, check out that brake. That's so cool. Whoa, I hit the trampoline. All right, let me try again. Here we go. Brake. Oh man, I didn't fall off. That is so cool. I hit the light pole, and this time I brake, but I didn't make it. So I fell off over the edge. And let's see if the car respawned. There it is. I can see the car all the way over there. Alright guys, so that is how you keep objects inside your Roblox games. Previously, we have seen how we can make falling platforms in our games just by adding a regular part into this folder, the falling platforms folder. Parts would become falling platforms automatically with the help of this script right here. The script is in the service script service, and this is the script that turns all the parts in that folder into falling platforms. The only problem we have with the script is that when the part falls down, it is gone from the game forever. It never comes back. So in this lesson, we're going to learn how to make a part that falls down and it's going to respawn itself back into the game. Let us now go and make that change. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my falling platforms folder inside the workspace. I'm going to make a copy of one of these parts. Doesn't matter which one. So I'm just going to right click and copy. I'm going to go to my replicated storage, right click, paste into. So now I have a part inside the replicated storage. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to our service script service, the falling platform script. Let's open that up, and we're going to change it to the following. So basically I have made some changes to the script. I have declared the falling platform folder, which is our folder here, because I'm going to use it over here and over here. Alright, so the next line here, we're just getting all the children of the falling platforms folder. We did this before. We're going through all the children in that folder, all the parts in that folder, and for each part in that folder, we're adding a touch event to the part. We did all this before. This here is our debouncing variable. When the player touches the part, we're going to make a new part. Doing that by cloning the part that we have copied into the replicated storage earlier. We're setting the position of our new part to be the same position as our current part. So basically what's going to happen is our current part is going to fall down and it's going to disappear. And the new part, we're going to place the new part at the same exact position as the part that is being touched, and it's going to fall down. Here we're removing the anchor of the part to make it fall down. We're going to give it 1 second before we replace the missing platform with the new platform. So we're moving the new platform into this folder, and that's going to replace the old platform that has disappeared. Now one more thing we need to do here is I'm going to go to my service script service. I'm going to right click and copy this script. And I'm going to go to my replicated storage, the part that we have placed inside the replicated storage. We're going to right click and paste into. I'm going to close the script and I'm going to open up the script inside the part. Let me change the name of the script, which is going to call it script. Open up the script that we have copied and placed inside the part. Make some changes to the script. It's going to be the following script. This whole section was pretty much left the same as the script we copied over. The only difference is we don't need to get all the children of that folder, and we don't need to have the for in I pairs loop to loop through each of the parts inside the folder, because this script is going to be only for this part. When this part is touched, it's going to connect to this function. So basically, this is how it's going to work. Somebody's going to step on one of those falling platforms. The platform is going to go away, but as it's going away, it's going to copy this part. And this part contains a script. So it's going to copy the part and the script together and place them into that folder. This is the folder. We're going to place all that in here. And when you place the part and the script into this folder inside the workspace, this folder is inside the workspace. The script inside the part is going to automatically run by itself as soon as it hits the workspace. And when it runs, it's going to add this touch event to the part that we have just copied into this falling platform folder. And that should do it. Let's play test now and take a look. So I'm gonna jump in and I'm gonna jump back out. You see the platform fell down and the new platform replaces the old platform. I'm gonna go back again. This time, whoa, this time I fell down with the platform. But it's okay. Remember before, when you fall down, when you touch the platform, it falls down and it disappears forever. It never come back, but now it came back. It has respawned by itself. So now let's try to get to the other side now. I'm gonna keep on going. And as I go, you can see the platforms, they come back. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Oh, I missed my step there. Just one thing I want to point out here is you probably remember I mentioned a while ago that it is bad practice to have the same copy of the code at multiple different places. In this case, it's probably not that bad because we only have this code at 2 different places. The first place we have that code is in the falling platforms in the server script service. We needed this code to add the touch event to all the parts that are inside the falling platforms folder. So that's why we needed this code. And the reason we needed this code here is because we needed to have a touch event that is gonna activate on its own when it's being moved to the workspace. And that's why we needed the code at 2 different places. Now there are definitely different ways that you can script this with just having the code in one single location, which you're gonna learn in future tutorials, but it would be up to you if you feel it's worth it to do it or not. It's really up to you. Anyway, so that is how you make an advanced falling platform that's gonna respawn on its own after falling down. Now that we're all experts at using arrays in scripting, in case you haven't heard, the array also has a sister named Dictionary. Let's now take a look at how to use dictionaries in scripting. Up here, I have an example of an array, and here is an example of a dictionary. The difference between an array and a dictionary is that you access the elements of the array using the array index. For example, this one has the index of 1, and here's index of 2, index of 3. With the dictionary, you don't use the index to access the elements or the entries of the dictionary, but instead, you're using the key. For example, the key of the first entry is apples. The key of this next entry is oranges, and the key of this entry down here is bananas. One thing to keep in mind is that the array elements are stored in sequential order. So the index of this first entry is 1, 2, 3, but the entries of the dictionary, they are not stored in any order. So the order could be random. Here are some examples of how to access the elements of the array and how to access the elements of the dictionary. Let's run tests and take a look. So here the first answer we have is oranges because we are accessing the second element of this array, so it is oranges. Down here we're getting the dictionary entry where the key is oranges and it returns the value of 12. We have 12 oranges. So basically the array here tells us what type of fruits we have inside our basket, but the dictionary here tells us how many apples, how many oranges, and how many bananas we have inside this basket. Here is one way of accessing the dictionary entry, and if you like, there's another way to do it. For example, let me do Control-Shift-D here to copy the line, and instead of using the brackets and the quotations, I can just use the dictionary name followed by a dot, and you can select a key here. For example, if you want to print out oranges, just select this key, and let's take a look. You can see both line number 10 and 11, it printed out the second entry, well, the entry where the key is oranges. In this next example, we're going to look at how to change the array element versus changing the dictionary element. They are very similar. So here we're changing the array element number 2 to peaches. Instead of oranges, it's going to turn to peaches, and then we're printing out that array element. Down here, we're changing the dictionary entry oranges, we're changing it to 15 from 12. And we're printing out the number of oranges we have. Down here, we're making another change to the number of oranges we have. So we're changing it to 18. And again, we're printing out the number of oranges that we have. Let's take a look. So first line here, line number 10, printed out peaches because we changed the second array element to peaches. Then we printed it out. And down here, line number 13, we're getting 15. That's the number of oranges we changed it to. And here, down here, we get 18. This example here, we're showing you how to access the dictionary entry using a variable. So here we're declaring a variable, pick up fruit, and it has the value of apples. In the next line here, we're using that variable, pick up fruit, to get this entry, the dictionary entry, where the key is apples. Let's take a look. And it returned 20. We have 20 apples. Similar to the array, in the array, you use the for in I pairs loop to loop through the array. For the dictionary, you use the for in pairs loop to loop through the dictionary. It is the same as the array without the I in the front. So in this case, for the array, each time you go through this loop, it returns the index value pair of the array, and we're printing out the index value pair here each time we go through the loop. For the dictionary, each time you go through the dictionary, it returns a key value pair, and we're printing out the key value pair each time we go through this loop. This is how you iterate through the array, and this is how you iterate through the dictionary. Let's take a look. On the first line, we have apple, because the first entry in the array is apples, and then we have oranges, bananas. Down here is our dictionary, so the first entry of the dictionary is bananas. Remember, I mentioned the dictionary is not in any order, so even though we stored banana last in the dictionary, it came in first when you're iterating through the dictionary. So the first entry returned from our loop is bananas, and we have 5 bananas. Second entry is apples, and we have 20 apples, and then we have 12 oranges. And that is a quick tutorial on how dictionary works in scripting. Let's now learn how to delete objects in our games. If you are inside Roblox Studio, it's very simple. You just gotta select the object and press delete, and it's gone. You can also go to the Explorer window and select the object, right-click on the object, and select delete, and it's gone. That was pretty simple. Now the bigger question is how to delete objects in scripting. So let's take, for example, this wall right here. I want to use script to delete this wall. I'm going to go to that wall. I'm going to add a script. First, we want to declare the part. So we're going to say local part equal to script.parent. Now to delete that part, we're going to say part colon destroy. Let's now run test and take a look. Our part is gone. It has been deleted. There are times when you don't want to delete your object immediately, but you want to delete it after a certain amount of time. In that case, you can do a task wait. For example, we're waiting for 5 seconds before we delete this object. Let's take a look. So the object is still there for 5 seconds, and then it's gone. The only problem with doing it this way is when you do a task wait here, and if you have other tasks to perform after the object is destroyed, all these tasks down here are going to be delayed by 5 seconds because it's going to get stuck here for 5 seconds before it moves on to the next line in the script. If you have other tasks that you want them to go on without waiting for this part to be deleted, you can use the debris service. I'm now going to close the script, but I'm going to copy the script to another part. Let's pick this part here. I'm going to paste it into that part. And now let's go change the script to use the debris service. I'm going to insert a new line in here. Local debris service equal to game colon get service debris. And we're going to go down here. Instead of using the destroy method, we're going to use the API of the debris service. So we're going to say debris service. The API is called add item. The first parameter is which object do we want to remove. So in this case, we want to remove the part. The second parameter is how much time to delay before the object is being removed. So in this case, how about we give it 8 seconds. So let's take a look again. In this part here, the first part, we're giving it 5 seconds before the object is being removed. For our second part here, which is this one, we're giving it 8 seconds before the part is being removed. Let's now run tests and take a look. So after 5 seconds, this part should disappear first, and then this part is going to disappear in 8 seconds. The only difference there is when you use the debris service to remove an item, it's not going to hold up your script. So if you have whatever that comes after this, the script is going to continue to run those items after this line without waiting for 8 seconds before it moves on. And those are the different methods of deleting objects inside Roblox. In our prior tutorial on Lethal Weapon, we have learned how to make this laser gun that would kill other players inside the game. In today's tutorial, we're going to add more to this laser gun. We're going to add the activation button so you can turn on and off the laser gun. And also, as you can see, we have added some sound effects to this laser gun so that when it's equipped and unequipped, it makes a sound, or when we activate or deactivate the gun, it makes a sound. Let's now go to Studio and see how we can do that. You can see here our laser gun is inside the starter pack. And the first thing we did was we added some sound files to the handle. So this is the handle of the tool. If you expand this, you can see we have added 2 new sound files. The first sound file is the clicking sound, and it goes like this. And the second sound file is a flipping sound, and it goes like this. You can basically go to your toolbox and search for audio. And you can search for your sound file here. Enter whatever description that you want. For example, if you want the clicking sound, just say click, hit enter, and you can select any of these sound files that you like, put it inside the handle. And the same goes for the flipping sound. The next thing you want to do is you want to go to your laser gun and insert a script. Not a local script, but a server script. And in your script, just enter the following lines. Basically up here, we're referencing to different items inside our Explorer. For example, we're referencing to the laser gun, the handle of the gun, the hitbox, which is right here. So this is the laser gun, this is the handle, this is the hitbox. And the next one, the last one, is the beam. The beam is inside the hitbox. At the bottom here, we're listening for 3 different events. The first event is the equip event. The second event is the unequip event. So basically, when you take out your tool, it fires the equip event. When you put away your tool, it fires the unequip event. And then down here we have the activated event. The activated event occurs when you left click on the mouse button. When your tool is equipped and you left click on the mouse button, it would fire the activated event. When one of these events is fired, we're gonna connect to a function. For example, when the equip event is fired, we're gonna go and play the flip sound that you heard earlier. And also, we want to start out with the laser being off. So we turn off the can't touch of the hitbox so that if anybody touches the hitbox, it's not gonna kill them. And also, we're turning off the laser beam, so you're not going to see a laser at the start when you first equip your tool, your weapon. The unequip event is pretty simple. We're just going to play the sound. We're not going to do anything because it doesn't matter. When we equip the tool, we're going to turn off everything. So when we unequip it, it's just going to put it away. And there's nothing else that we needed to do other than playing this flip sound. Again, the activated event occurs when you left click on the mouse button while the tool is equipped, then what we want to do is we want to play the sound first. So we're playing this clicking sound, and then we're going to toggle on and off the can't touch property of the hitbox and the enable property of the beam. So it's going to turn on and off the laser beam. Every time you click the left mouse button, it's going to toggle on and off the laser beam. Alright, so that's all there is to it, and let's go and take a look. We're going to play test. Now I'm going to equip my laser by hitting the 1 button, unequip by hitting the 1 button, or I can click on this icon down here. Alright, so now my tool is equipped, but it's not yet activated. Because remember, when we first equip the tool, we're going to turn off everything. So right now it's not activated until I click with my left mouse button. Now it's activated. If I click again, it's going to toggle on and off the laser. So it's going to go on and off. Now with the laser is off, I cannot hurt anybody inside the game with the laser off. But now if I equip it, activate it, here we go. Now I can hurt people inside the game. And when I'm done, I can deactivate it by clicking the left button again. Or if I'm all done, I want to put away my gun, I'm just going to click here and it's gone. And that is how you script the equip, unequip, and activated events of your tools. We have learned how to create this laser gun, and this laser gun is very lethal, so if it touches somebody, it takes away the health of that player. In today's tutorial, we're going to learn how to create a healing potion so that when a player loses health, he or she can get this potion to regain all his health back. Let's now go to Studio and see how we can do that. Here we are inside Roblox Studio, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to need to get a potion bottle. So we're going to go to the toolbox, meshes, and I'm going to search for potion bottle. Hit enter. There is a sriracha bottle, but that's not going to be very good for our potion bottle because that's going to burn our mouth. So I don't want to use that one. Here we have a soda bottle, a Mountain Dew bottle. Look at this, all kinds of bottles we have over here. So you can select any of these bottles as your potion bottle. And it's very interesting because if you scroll further down, you can see these are not even bottles and they appear here in the search. For example, I got this character here, and check this out, there's a fire hydrant. A fire hydrant is not a bottle, but still it pops up over here in the search. But anyway, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick one that looked nice. I think I'm just gonna go back to the top and I'm gonna select, how about this bottle right here? So I'm just gonna click on it and it goes over here inside my workspace. So this is the bottle we have selected. We can close this window right here. Now with the bottle selected, I'm gonna go to my model menu tab. I'm gonna click on texture generator. If you don't have this button, it could be that this feature is still a beta feature, so you're gonna have to turn on that beta feature. We did have a tutorial on this, so you can refer to that tutorial on how to turn on this beta feature. But anyway, I'm just gonna click on this button right here, and there is my bottle. And now I'm gonna enter a description in here for the AI to create a texture for this bottle. Healing potion bottle with an image of a Roblox character on the bottle. Let's click preview, see what we have. It's gonna take a couple of seconds. And here it is. We have our bottle, and that doesn't look like an image of a Roblox character, but you know, the bottle looks beautiful, so we'll take it. So we're just gonna say save and apply. And you can scroll down to see how much longer it's gonna take. So it should take about 36 seconds, I assume. We're now at 19 seconds. Hopefully it will be done soon. And there it is, it's done. There's our bottle. We can now go ahead and close this window, and we can place this bottle anywhere you want. It is a very big bottle. So if you like, you can scale it. Now this is gonna be your healing potion bottle. So we're gonna go to the bottle and we're gonna add a script. In your script, just enter the following lines. So here we have a touch event. Whenever somebody touches this bottle, it's gonna check to see if it is a humanoid that is touching the bottle. It's gonna destroy the bottle and give the humanoid that touches the bottle 100 health. And 100 health is the maximum a player can have inside a game, so you're gonna regain your full health after drinking this potion. Let's play test now. There's one thing I want to show you. So as I enter the game, if you look over here inside the workspace, you're gonna see my character. If you expand the character, actually click on your character, you're gonna see a script. It's called a health script. If you open this health script, you're gonna see that this health script is gonna automatically regenerate the health of the character over time. So even without taking the potion, the magical potion to regain your full health instantly, you can still regain your health over time. But this is gonna take a long time to regain the health. But with the potion, you can regain your full health instantly. And inside the script, there are two variables, two constants up here that you can change. You can change these two constants to adjust how fast or how slow your health should regain over time. Anyway, so I just want to point out, in case you're curious, why your health is regaining back over time. It is because of that health script inside every character inside the game. And now let's check out our potion bottle. We're gonna test it with 2 players. I'm gonna click on the test, and with local server, 2 players, click on start. Okay, so here we are. We have player number 2 here, and player number 2 is gonna bring out his laser gun. He's gonna activate it, and he's gonna try and kill player number 1. So player number 1 now lost some health. Now I'm gonna go to player number 1 here. Where's my player number 1? It's this guy here without the laser gun, and he's gonna go. So you can see his health up here, right? It's regaining slowly. If I go back to player number 2, I didn't want to turn off the laser. If I go back to player number 2 and I hit him some more, you see he's almost dead. Player number 1 is almost dead. But now I'm gonna go to player number 1. I'm gonna look for the bottle, or maybe why don't I just? How about if player number 1 fights back? He's gonna take out his gun now. He's gonna activate it, and he's gonna hit player number 2. Let's see what will happen. So player number 2 now loses health too. Okay, player number 2 is almost dead. Now we're gonna go to player number 2. We're gonna put away his gun, so we know which one he is. So this is player number 2. You can see his health is regaining very slowly, right? I'm gonna go and grab that magical bottle, the beautiful bottle we have created, and it's gone. And look at my player number 2. His health is fully recovered. He has full health now. He is fully healed. And once you're done with testing, just clean up, click on clean up here, and you're back inside Roblox Studio. And guys, that is how you make a beautiful healing potion bottle in Roblox. In case you're watching this video and you want to learn more about how to make the tools that you saw in this video, you can come to our channel, PriceCP Roblox. We have all different kinds of playlists here. For example, here we have a playlist about arrays, tables, dictionary, and all that stuff. This other playlist here is all about constraints. So if you want to learn about constraints, this is where you're going to go. This one is all about Roblox events. So you can learn all about Roblox events inside this playlist. But the playlist that you probably want to look for in this case is all about tools. So this is where it is. This is the Roblox Tools and Weapons playlist. You can learn everything you need to know about Roblox tools and weapons inside this playlist, starting out with the very basic. And then each tutorial after that, you're going to learn more things about tools and weapons that you need to know inside Roblox. when you reach these two here, the Lethal Weapon and Lethal Weapon 2, those are the two tutorials where we show you how to make that laser gun that you saw inside the video. Hey everyone, before we finish up, I've got something special for our members. There is an exclusive video, we have just posted it just now. The name of the video is right here, a unique way to handle touch events. Once you learn this, you will not want to handle touch events in your games any other way after this. If you are not yet a member, just click on the join button below the video to get in on this. This video is a game changer. It reveals a unique way to handle touch events in your games, unlike anything you've seen before. It's a secret technique from Pebble Heaven, and now I'm ready to share it with you guys. Don't worry about complexity. This script is short and it is beginner friendly. You'll find the link in the description. Join us as a member for a small fee and you'll always have access to all our best kept secrets and top tutorials. Joining helps support our channel and keeps great content coming. Sign up, enjoy the perks, and I will see you in the next video. Take care everyone, peace.